Hi everybody, I'm Jeff Rowe, I'm the admin for MMA UK and I'm representing the Daily Sport and FightStallPro.com. Today we're here with Linton Vassell, Britain's #2 ranked light heavyweight, and he's fighting at Bellator next week. Obviously we'll be talking about Linton's upcoming fight and obviously his progress and how he's got here. So Linton, very nice to be here with you. So lovely to meet you. And Linton's currently 13-3 as a professional fighter and 2-0 in Bellator. And we're just going to get into a little bit about how he got into the sport and so on. So Linton, please tell us, how did you get into MMA originally? What spurred you into the sport?
Originally, it was one of my friends, Cliff Hall, who got me into it. He just told me to go down to the gym. I went down. I ended up, enjoying it, liking it a lot.
It just spiraled on from there.
Yeah, I had my first semi-pro fight after six months.
Yeah, and
then just continued.
How many fights did you have as before you turned pro?
I had three semi-pro fights.
Fantastic.
And then I couldn't really get a match-up anymore at semi-pro. I won those three as well.
Yeah.
And I won a title. And then, that's what spurred me into having my first pro.
That's brilliant. Well, what is your background in the martial arts? What would you say your styles were? What did you start training in? Was it Muay Thai? Was it wrestling? Did you just do everything?
I've done a little bit of kickboxing, more likely to keep fit, but when I went to gym, I was just a grappler.
Right.
I didn't actually learn any grappling. I just went there, and then that was
natural progression. Oh, brilliant, brilliant. Well, now with yourself, obviously, certain fighters have certain things that we have to watch out for. Like Uriah Faber has a guillotine, Jose Aldo has his leg kick, so on. Anderson Silva clinch. What would you say? Is there anything that you have that you do particularly well that we should look out for?
I'm always a good submission. I always finish a fight.
Yeah.
So if it's not from ground and pound, it's by submission.
Watching for you cranking something.
Yeah, I love a guillotine.
Yeah.
I love a rear naked choke. I love a Kimura.
Fantastic.
So
Well, what MMA Warriors, one of the groups that I also represent, they've asked a question. They want to know: was there something? What happened since your last loss, which was back in 2010, and you're riding an 8-fight streak now? Yeah. Was there something that changed? Was there something that happened inside you? Did you feel, what was it that sort of brought on this coming success?
After that last loss, what it was, I took a fight last minute. I had a fight originally booked. Lasted 14 seconds. The fella said I poked him in the eye, which I punched him in the face. It didn't continue. That got called a no contest.
Yeah.
And then because I was ready still to fight, I took a last minute fight in Sweden. But I'd done everything wrong. I'd done the weight cut wrong. I was in the sauna for a couple of hours. I didn't rehydrate properly. I had the fight. I was winning the first 2 rounds, even the third. And then I was zapped. I had no energy. Got TKO'd. I had to go to hospital, and they said I had no sugars in me, no carbs. Basically, I just didn't rehydrate.
Body shut down.
Rehydrate properly. And ever since that was it. I never took a fight last minute, and I always rehydrate properly and carb up properly. So I'd say I've done everything right, and obviously it's worked.
Yeah.
Now I'm on an 8-fight. Yeah.
Exactly. 8-fight, as you corrected me earlier.
That's right. That's right.
One of the things that kept popping up amongst the fans, obviously, there's another British light heavyweight, which is Liam McGeary in Bellator. Have you met him? I mean,
no, I haven't met him yet. We haven't been on the same card.
Okay.
But yeah, I think he's unbeaten, isn't he?
He is unbeaten, and he's 6'6", so that's why I think they.
Someone taller than me as well. But,
I mean,
one day we'll fight, and
fantastic. Well, I mean, as I say, the fans just kept mentioning him. Just wonder if you knew him, if there's any relationship there or anything.
No, I've not met him yet.
That's fine. Now, I've also got a question from Addicted MMA, and they would like to know, how did you feel about Bellator dropping the tournament setting? I mean, do you think it'll be good? Were you looking forward to being in the tournament, or are you looking forward to the matches that could be available now?
It's a bit of both. I originally wanted to be in the tournament. Because one, obviously you get a title fight, and 2, it's a good payday, and 3, I've never been in a tournament, so that would have been good as well. But from what Coco said, he said like have some good wins on your record, and you get a title fight anyway. So the way I see it, once I beat once I beat Virgil, then that'd be 3-0 in Bellator.
Exactly, it's time for another name, and obviously Virgil Zwicker being a respected veteran as it is. Now going on to your next fight, obviously you're fighting at Bellator 122, which is next Friday, which is the 25th. Now you're fighting a guy who obviously most of his fights have finished by KO. What are you expecting him to be doing coming into this fight? Are you expecting him to just be coming in swinging, or Have you thought about what tactics he may be using against you?
Every fight is different. I expect him to come swinging, but you know he might try and form in and try for a takedown. If so, I'd say that's his biggest mistake. Because grappling's my I love the grappling.
That's your forte, isn't it?
But one thing is going to bring it. Is going to bring it, and is very durable. So yeah, I know I'm going to have a good fight on my hands, but. You know,
you're ready.
See him,
you're ready.
So I'm ready for whatever he brings.
Yeah, definitely. Well, as well. I mean, how long have you been in camp from this fight, and what did you cut down from, and what you walk? Now we're about a week away. What are you sort of walking around at now? How much further do you got to go?
It's been a pretty long camp, so I've took some time off, and you know, I've been a bit of both. It's been probably about a 10-week camp. Well, really, I had a couple of weeks off after my last fight in March, and then just continued. I just stepped it up. I cut down from 110. At the moment, today I'm 98 kg. Yeah. So I like to get down to at least 96, and then just cut.
A lot of people were impressed by the cut, so obviously, you know, you've got that down to a T now on how you do it.
Yeah, I've been doing it for a long while now, cutting the weight like this way for a long time, just dieting. I've
been seeing that obviously you're keen for your food, but you haven't been struggling. You know, I see some guys who, you know, they're struggling with their cuts. Whilst I haven't heard any of that, you know, it's very, very sort of cool.
As long as you're eating the carbs for training, then I shouldn't see why there should be a problem. You're not eating all that crap. After, then I don't see how.
Some guys can't help the binge, you know, they can't help the binge.
You know,
yeah, Johnny Hendricks, I think, has been binging a little bit from what I've seen lately. Okay. Now, obviously, we're in BST Northampton at the moment. When is it you're flying out, and how long do you normally fly out before your fights? How long do you normally give yourself to acclimatise and prepare?
Usually go. I went a week the first time when I fought in Dallas, and then my last time I went 2 weeks before. This time I'm going a week before, so I'll go on Sunday, which is I think the 20th. Or something like that.
So it's on average a week to 2 weeks.
Yeah,
something
so
like that.
When I get there, I'll just chill, get my medicals done, sleep.
Brilliant.
You know, and jet lag will be gone by then. You know.
That's fantastic. So obviously, what's your prediction for your fight then? What's your prediction, or do you not want to go there?
TKO submission. And obviously me winning.
Yeah.
That's as simple as.
I like the sound of those things. Obviously. Now, lastly, Linton, thank you for all your time and everything. Now we're going to go on to just a couple of fan questions. Now, I've got a question from Aaron Littlevoice. Now he wanted to know if you were offered a fight with Bones, would you take it?
I'd be stupid not to.
Exactly. I thought that would be the answer to the question.
That'd be me up there, wouldn't it?
What would be your tactics going into a fight against a guy like that?
Get out of the way of his punches and his kicks, and even he's got a longer reach than me, and just you know, take him down.
Only by 1.5 inches, by the way. Only by 1.5 inches.
take him down and just to see how he handles my grappling. Yeah, you know, that's exactly how I'll take the fight.
Funnily enough, MMA Outsiders, Eric asked from MMA Outsiders what your exact reach actually was. So what is your exact reach in the numbers? Is it correctly recorded?
I think it's 82.
82, yeah. So I didn't bring the tape measure, but I think we can go on the facts there, you know. Now, Tim from the Real Talk MMA. Now he asked if you could fight any of these guys, who would it be? Emmanuel Newton, Rampage Jackson, Tito Ortiz, or King Mo?
Well, Rampage is teammate, so obviously he's out the question.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Newton's the champ, so obviously Emmanuel Newton, and then the next two any day.
Just well known
their names. Their names, and for me to fight them, as again, that's me up there. So them three, obviously, you know.
I'd personally say I'd watch any of those fights anyway. Well, to be honest, I'm a bit biased because I'll be watching all of them.
So. And they're fights that should happen, and I hope it will happen.
Exactly. You're 3-fight win streak. You're certainly in the region for deserving one of those fights, or you will be on. Hope all things going well. And lastly, we just have a question from Peter from MMA Strike. He said, before it comes time for you to hang up your glove, do you think you will ever have a fight with Britain's #1 ranked light heavyweight, Jimmy Manuwa?
Yeah, that's got to happen. The fans always say about it, it's going to happen. I say in interviews, always get asked about it, you know. And it's one of those fights that needs to happen. He's ranked #1. I'm #2.
It makes sense.
You know, it's all good saying I'm #2, but it's not #1.
Exactly. I totally understand.
It's a fight that needs to happen.
To be honest, it's the sort of question that I didn't want to ask because you've been asked that a million times. I know. I'm sure you both have been. But you know, the fans want to know. We've got to deliver. It's our job. Right. It's our job. Well, Linton, honestly, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and I'm very grateful to you know, you having me here in your gym. Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, nice.
And obviously from MMA UK and Daily Sports and the FightStallPro.com. Obviously, keep an eye out for next week because this man will be fighting, and kicking some arse on the behalf of